Spirituality is more about the growth that you have as a human being, as a spirit, as a soul. The deeper deepness within you that allows you to grow and allows you to transform and allows you to, move through life, taking on lessons and allowing those lessons to integrate into you so that you can have some healing, you can have some growth, you can have some transformation in your life in some way. Now, I know you've all had transformations in your life, and I know there's going to be some of you out there who are still currently on that journey. Well, I want to tell everyone out there that coming out is a lifelong journey. It's not just a one time thing. We're coming out constantly throughout our life. Now, of course, that could be coming out as queer, it could be gay, it could be, a different gender, it could be, how you see yourself in relationships. You have to sometimes break down these societal constructs that have been brought to us and told that this is how we need to live life, this is how we should live life. We have to break those down. Welcome to the Queer Quest podcast, your beacon of light and sprinkle of glitter in the queer community. I'm your host, Christiano Green, CEO and founder of Queer Quest and a transformation coach for queer individuals. And together, we're embarking on a journey of transformation. Each week, we bring you a new training topic or connecting with visionary queer leaders in healing and coaching, diving deep into conversations that inspire growth, celebrate diversity, and empower you to live authentically. So wherever you are, settle in and let's get ready to unlock the vibrant potential within. This is where your quest begins. Hello, all you fabulous souls, and welcome to another episode of the Queer Quest podcast. I am your host, Christiano Green, the CEO and founder of Queer Quest and a transformation coach for people in the queer community. So on this episode of the Queer Quest podcast, I wanted to talk about the coming out journey, but I wanted to talk about it in the context of it being a spiritual journey, of it being a growth journey, of it being a journey where you go deep within your soul to the depths, deal with some of the biggest issues that you have that have been bubbling up for many, many years, sometimes decades of your life, and working through those to get to a place of full acceptance of who you are, especially in a world that hasn't necessarily been designed for people like us in the queer community. So let's discuss the spiritual journey. What does spiritual growth mean? I know not everyone out there is religious. And I know that sometimes people can put religion and spirituality into the same box. I mean, they have a lot of similarities in the sense of what, people would like to believe religion is all going to give you. But spirituality is more about the growth that you have as a human being, as a spirit, as a soul. The deeper deepness within you that allows you to grow and allows you to transform and allows you to, move through life, taking on lessons and allowing those lessons to integrate into you so that you can have some healing, you can have some growth, you can have some transformation in your life in some way. Now, I know you've all had transformations in your life, and I know there's going to be some of you out there who are still currently on that journey. Well, I want to tell everyone out there that coming out is a lifelong journey. It's not just a one time thing. We're coming out constantly throughout our life. Now, of course, that could be coming out as queer, it could be gay, it could be, a different gender, it could be, how you see yourself in relationships. You have to sometimes break down these societal constructs that have been brought to us and told that this is how we need to live life, this is how we should live life. We have to break those down. We have to go through some of the old belief systems that maybe our family have put on us, society has put on us, other queer people have even put on us. And it's up to us to go out there and say, hey, look, I have all this information. My heart, my soul is telling me something that I need to be. This is my authentic self. How can I live and show up in a world and accept myself in that world when all this other outside noise is stopping me? Now, I know there's going to be people from certain countries in the world where this can be harder for you to do than others. And of course, I always say safety first. If you're in a situation, you want to keep yourself safe. But what I'm trying to get at here today is if you're someone who wants to go on the journey of growth and just acceptance and live life authentically as you are, then coming out is going to be a spiritual journey. Now, we come out in many different ways outside of just being queer, right? What you choose to do for your life, that's a coming out experience, especially if you're someone who's changing careers or done things. Like I found myself when I left the corporate world where I, ran a team of 300 people, and I had all these identities around me being a manager. And then I decided to leave that and start my coaching business about 4 years ago. And I've been coaching for 20 odd years. There were some big shifts, and I felt like I had to come out of the closet as a coach, and it took some internal dialogue. It took some spiritual growth, going on a spiritual journey. And so for me, I had to, like I said, work through how I saw myself, how I felt the world was seeing me, break that all down, and then just follow authentically what it was that I was longing to do and wanting to do, so that I could live my life and be happy and live life more peacefully, even though, there's challenges still on every path that you take. But the journey of me was I wanted to grow. I wanted to evolve. I was feeling that even though I had all of this responsibility, I had a big team, I wasn't feeling like my soul was growing. Maybe I was growing in a business sense. I was learning a lot of skills. I was putting them into practice, speaking in front of hundreds of people on a daily basis. So I was learning and growing in that area, but it wasn't, I guess, spiritually longing there. And of course, those skills have helped me today in what I do. I feel comfortable speaking in front of people. I feel comfortable sharing my thoughts and my feelings and my opinions, and also my perspectives on life. And I hope that, you guys value some of those perspectives, because you are listening to this podcast. But the truth is that, like I said, when we have a longing within ourselves to grow spiritually, we have to kind of come out of the shell as being spiritual, as being this, as being that. And so really what spiritual growth at its core is a longing to grow from the inside out, not the outside in, right? When you're learning skill set, that's an outside in thing. But the inside out is like following that, knowing, that trusting within your heart that this is who you are and this is what you want to do. And especially when it comes to coming out as queer, whether, like I said, that comes down to your sexuality, whether it comes down to your gender, whether it comes down to your relationship style, all of those things means that you're coming out in some way, breaking the societal norms. For me, like I said, I've come out quite a few times in my life in different ways. First, initially, was when I came out as a gay man. Now, when I grew up, this was coming up to 20 odd years ago. I know I'm showing my age some there, but 20 odd years ago, I mean, of course, I was struggling with that beforehand. But when I was in school, I got bullied severely, right? Every single day, I was called faggot, I was called puffed, I was pushed around, picked on. I didn't have any friends, right? I got called all these names before I even understood what being gay was. And so I had all these perceptions from everybody else that it was this terrible thing, that like I was going to hell. This wasn't just from children; this was from their parents and things like that. So I got really, really bullied in that period of life. Even when I went into workplace, certain managers of mine picked on me and bullied me then, right? So I dealt with that a lot. And so for me to come out as gay took a lot of, going through the deep, dark stuff that I had been through and processing it. And for me, even though I came out at, say, 21, I didn't fully come into my own until I was in my 30s, because I still had all of that stuff that I was working through. And when I was in my early 20s, I got caught, my introduction to the gay community, the queer community, was through the clubbing scene, the party scene. And that got caught up in drinking and drugs and all that kind of a lifestyle. So like I said, that was me masking and numbing the pain and the trauma that I'd been through, but also trying to figure out who I was. And some people are lucky that they get to understand who they are from an early age. But it took me a lot of time to really do that, because, like I said, I had all this other baggage. I didn't know who I was outside of all of this other stuff that had been thrown on me. I had to unlayer that, take it off, go on that spiritual journey, and fully come out. So I came out as gay. I came out as a coach. I came out as spiritual. I came out as who I am as well. So that's a journey. Like, coming out as who you are is just as empowering as coming out as a queer person, because being queer is part of who you are as well, right? It's a part of you. It's a certain part of you. It's not all of you. There are so many factors. We are holistic beings. We are multifaceted beings. And so, like I said, this coming out journey, is a spiritual one. And for me, like I said, I dealt with a lot in my growth. Like I had no one that I could look up to or relate to. I'd never seen or met a gay person in my life. And the only kind of perceptions I had of gay people were on shows like, CSI, where they got killed or murdered or something had happened to them. And so I had this vision of like, wow, like if I decide that this is my path in life, I'm going to go through some really troubled times because I'm already doing that. I'm already getting the backlash for something that I haven't yet identified with. But I had to work through that. I had to, like I said, put myself out of my shell. I was a very shy person. I came down on my own to this big, wide world of the gay Sydney scene on my own because I was like, I have to at least give it a try. There was a lot of depression. There was a lot of anxiety. There was a lot of suicidal thoughts throughout that. And I know that's my journey is not alone. That's a little bit about my coming out journey, right? So I had to overcome all that mental health stuff to go and say, look, you know what? If I go on this spiritual path, it's a journey of me becoming and wanting to be happy. That was really what my ultimate goal was. I just want to be happy. I feel like I've lived many of my years like so sad and so hurt and so depressed and anxious that I just wanted to at least try to be happy, because if I couldn't get there, I probably would have ended my life. But I was at least going to try. And that's the same thing when it comes to coming out, later in life as gender fluid, right? I believe that gender is a construct, right? Yes, I do identify myself as a male born at birth, but I class myself as gender fluid, meaning that I don't see the lines that much. I think they can be blurred, right? When it comes to how you express yourself, how you speak, how your mannerisms are, how you present yourself fashion wise, how you who you hang out with, like what's acceptable, what's not. I believe that those lines should be blurred because, like I said, we're just humans at the end of the day. But I understand that that's not the world that we live in. But yeah, I've had to come to terms with that as well. And it's a journey. And like I said, there's many people out there going on their own journey of gender or sexuality or relationship status, right? Polyamorous people out there, right? Frapples, open relationships, right? Like I said, those weren't the norms. You have to break down societal norms, what your family may think about it. What does all these people out there think of it? And focus on what you think about it. What's going to make you happy? Which is why I believe the coming out experience, the coming out journey is a spiritual journey. Now, of course, on that spiritual development, the key thing that I think that we're trying to get to is a place of self-acceptance. Acceptance within who you are, as who you are. I want to be me as me, not me as your perception of me, right? So being able to identify and discover more about you. It's a self-discovery journey, which is why, like I said, it's a spiritual journey, because you going deeper into who you are and what you believe and trying to, like I said, take away everyone else's beliefs and focus on your choices and your perceptions, that's difficult, right? We get so many outside noises, like I said, from our family, from our society, from our cultures that we're a part of. And it can be hard to decipher what is your belief and what is everyone else's. I've been going on such a journey over the past few years of trying to break down a lot of the beliefs that my parents gave to me around money, around working, around safety and stability and what you should be spending life doing and XYZ. I had to break some of that down. Some of them have been helpful, of course, but a lot of those maybe came from a different generation, a different time, and also their upbringing, right? And sometimes there comes with there's the stuff that's been, I guess, labeled as love, but also comes what's really in the package can be fear. I love you, but I'm putting my fear onto you. And unfortunately, that's what happened in my case in some situations. Again, no blame or shame or in the game for my parents, because I love and adore them. It's just I know that looking back at those beliefs that you gave to me, they're not mine. And I don't want to hold on to those because they don't serve me as who I am and where I'm going. So I have to come out of the shell and say, look, thank you for that, but that's not how I choose to believe. And that can be difficult, and it's caused some challenges within our relationship, but we work through them. And sometimes working through them means I know what to share about my life and not to share with certain people. And that's okay, because like I said, we get the opportunity to speak and share our thoughts, our feelings, our opinions, our perceptions, and understand, are they mine? Am I speaking my words, or am I speaking my family's words, my culture's words, the world's words, right? I want to be speaking mine. So I have to, like I said, uncover it. And it's a continual journey. So, like I said, coming out isn't just a one-time thing. It's a process that we go through. And throughout that process, there are many challenges and there are many spiritual tests, right? Because once you come out once, you're going to find that there are going to be people out there that take it and appreciate it and honor it and say, good on you for being you. And there are going to be people who have issues with it. So those are going to be your spiritual tests. How do I go through the world navigating it when there are going to be internal conflicts around how I see myself versus how the world sees me? How am I going to navigate the world when it comes to my family if they fully accept my way of living? Because my way of living is my authentic truth. Sometimes they don't align. And again, sometimes we have to say, okay, I'm going to share what I need to share, but I don't always have to say everything out loud for it to mean more to me. I can live my life authentically to me. And knowing that, that's how it is. Again, everyone has their own choice of how they live their identity, their queerness, their truths. And again,
in a world where every journey is unique, one path shines brightly for the queer community. Introducing QueerQuest, the first of its kind personal development platform designed exclusively for us, by us. At QueerQuest, we understand the multifaceted journey of queer identity. That's why we've created a space where you can explore, learn, and grow with the guidance of queer experts from around the globe. Whether you're seeking to enhance your physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual well-being, QueerQuest is your gateway to transformation. Imagine embarking on quests tailored to your journey of self-discovery, finding community, and unlocking your queer excellence. QueerQuest offers online courses, coaching programs, and soon workshops, seminars, retreats, and festivals, all designed to empower you to live your best life. Ready to start your adventure? Join us at www.queerquest.vip to become part of a movement towards personal and collective greatness. Sign up today to join the waitlist and be the first to know when we launch. QueerQuest, where your journey of self-discovery and transformation begins. Don't just dream of a life filled with pride and purpose, make it your reality with QueerQuest. Visit www.queerquest.vip now. Your quest awaits.
And again, there's going to be societal pressures, right? Depending on where you are in the world, it's easier and harder to be queer. And there is so many different levels of queerness, right? So like I said, your sexuality, it could be your gender, your relationship status, right? Again, some people are going to see it and some people are going to find it really, really conflicting to them because it breaks down their belief system, which is why, again, sometimes being queer is this thing of like us breaking down the barriers of it as well. So again, you're going to face those spiritual challenges and those spiritual tests. And as you overcome them, you're going to find that you grow as a spiritual person. You grow as a human. You become more and more accepting of who you are, flaws and all. You don't need to be perfect to be loved. You just need to look in the mirror and start working on the things that you find unlovable and learning how you can love them. And some of those things, learning how you can love them, is more acceptance. And some of those things is I need to change some of those things. So, for example, when I looked in the mirror a few years ago, when I was struggling with alcohol and drugs, and just not being happy, there were some parts of me I couldn't love because I was feeling like I was lost within my heart and in my soul, and I was blocking that away. I had to work on changing that, getting myself sorted out in those areas so that I could learn to love myself and say, look, I do trust myself. I don't need to be held down by those things. I'm a strong enough person, and I can live my life in a different way. And I don't need any of that stuff. I don't need any of those things, right? To work through the internal conflicts, right? And each time the test came, I learned and I grew and evolved. And sometimes there were some setbacks, but I had to keep working at it. And I continue to keep working at it. And I will not stop working at it because this is life. This is the spiritual journey. And like I said, a lot of it can relate to me coming out more as who I truly am and trying to show that. Because sometimes when you show that to people and they don't see you or hear you or understand you, that can have some issues if you allow it to. And you have to go back and look in the mirror again and say, hey, is the part that isn't lovable something that I'm that I'm letting someone else not love me on, or is it something that I'm choosing to not love myself on? How can I love myself even harder, or what shift can I make to get to that place as well? Because they're all shift as well. And throughout that journey, you're going to find it's going to have a lot of healing and a lot of reconciliation. You're going to be sharing stuff with people, telling them how you feel in certain situations, cutting people out of your life, sometimes for a period of time and sometimes forever. Unfortunately, in my life, I've had to cut out quite a few different people in different steps of my journey because they couldn't support who I was in that moment. For whatever reason, maybe that's because they're on their own journey and we're going in different directions. Or maybe it's because we just weren't aligned forever, because people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, right? And so sometimes the seasons change. Sometimes the reasons are done. And sometimes in that area of lifetime, you have periods where you go in and out of other people's lives. So I think that nothing is always ending. It's always ebbing and flowing, and you never know what can happen in the future. But the part of that I'm trying to make there is that as you go through it, you're going to go on a journey of healing and reconciliation. There's going to be dealing with the emotional wounds, the mental belief systems, the spiritual wounds that are inflicted by rejection and non-acceptance. And so really coming to a place of truly forgiving yourself for any of the harm that you've done to yourself and to other people inadvertently, because, we also need to forgive other people for how they've treated us in certain situations, because both self-forgiveness and forgiving others is spiritual growth. If you can learn to forgive people who've hurt you the most, that doesn't mean you have to let them back into your life, but forgive them means you're energetically moving past it. You're spiritually overcoming that. You're spiritually healing and reconciling things that are inside you, maybe those inner conflicts. And the great thing, though, is when we start to really clear out the baggage, work on those things that come from us coming out and accepting who we truly are, we get to find that we get to create and find a new community, build a new tribe, highlighting the importance of what that community means to you, what that support means to you, how that can uplift you, how that can give you a sense of growth and love on this spiritual journey. Now, that's the whole reason why I created QueerQuest, right? Now, QueerQuest is the world's first online training and coaching and healing and growth platform for people specifically in the queer community. And a big part of the platform is actually building a strong queer community for everyone in this community. Because I know that that's something throughout my own journey and the journey of also so many of the people that I have helped and spoken to in the last, 20 odd years, that they struggle with having a strong sense of community. Especially depending on where you grow up and where you live, you might find that there are people that you are friends with, but you can't necessarily be spiritually connected to. So the whole point of this is to build a spiritual queer community that you can come to where it's just built on love. It's just built on growth. It's just built on acceptance. No matter how you live your life, we're going to be supporting you. There's going to be other people just like you. So that's the huge thing about why I said why I built QueerQuest, and it's something that we deserve to have for us, because again, coming out is a lifelong journey. You don't just come out in one way; we come up in many ways. So it being a place for that and building your community and tribe, it makes me super happy, and I'm super happy that it's going to be launching very, very soon. So stay tuned, because you can actually go to this site here, www.queerquest.vip, put your name on the guest list, and I will give you an advance notice of when it actually comes out as well. But anyway, moving back onto what we're talking about, because I just got sidetracked about that because I was so excited, but we're talking about community. But yeah, from that, you get this sense of like, as you overcome these things and you get close to that level of acceptance, there's this sense of transformation and a new, like a renewal of life. It's like a rebirth sometimes. When you truly are aligned to your authentic self, your way of living, and you find a tribe of people who are just like you and accept you and see you and hear you and understand you and really connect with you and feel you at your deepest, it's a beautiful thing. And each stage of your journey is going to contribute to your spiritual evolution. Like I said, there's stages of coming to full acceptance, right? And some of those are good stages, some of those are really difficult stages, right? There is those depression stages and those bargaining where I don't want this to be me. I don't want my life to be like this because of all of the stuff that's happening outside of you. But as you get to that level of acceptance and self-love and self-pride, there's, like I said, a rebirth, a transformation, a renewal that happens. And the beautiful thing about this journey is that for us to continue it and to get the best out of it and to actually keep ourselves in those places, because it's so easy sometimes in life to get a setback and we move back some stages, right? Because I'm sure you can all relate to this point where, like, there's been points where you felt so proud of being queer, like I said, whatever part of that is you. And then there have been something that's knocked you back and you started to really go, oh my God, like, is this how it's always going to be? It's going to be this tough for me. Like, why is it that I can't just live life and be happy and all these other people get to do it, but not me? Right? You've got a setback. And then maybe you've moved forward again. So what I want us to know is that, like, some of these things like spiritual growth practices and having a strong community will keep you on that track, right? When you have the right people around you that are lifting you up, it's harder to have the setback, because if you have a slight setback, they're there to catch you and to hold you. And also, there's some spiritual practices out there that can be important for you. Like, for me, things like meditation or mindfulness or journaling or getting out in nature or just doing things that bring me joy. Right. I create meditations every week. If you go to, check out the podcast, you'll see that there's like at least 20 different meditations on there that can be helpful to you if you want to start meditation. They're all guided meditations, because I believe that that's a spiritual practice that is important to keep you moving forward, keep you happy, keep you connected as well. So, like I said, encouraging you to explore different spiritual paths. Like I said, I've gone to go in my own journey of I've done so many different things on the spiritual path to get to a place. I've done plant medicine. I've gone to different, retreats. I've joined different online programs. I've done lots of different things that are going to help me on my own spiritual journey. I've had different teachers and guides and healers that are helping me connect truly to who I am as a person, as a queer person, and as someone who's just trying to live my life authentically to who I truly am. So what you want to do is like figure out which of these things are going to resonate with you. Is journaling and talking about your feelings going to help you understand them more and become more self-aware, right? Or is sitting in quietly trying to meditate going to help you on that journey? Or is, like I said, getting out in nature, connecting with other people in your community, building a tribe, are these going to support your spiritual growth as you continue to go through the coming out experience as well? I know I've been going on for maybe 20, 25 minutes, and this is a topic I could talk on for hours. I just want to offer you some words of encouragement, because you're all at different stages of your coming out journey. Like I said, some of you are going to be so far forward that you're listening to this coming going, yep, I've been there, I've been there, I've been there, I've been there. Or you're going to be someone who goes, oh my God, I want to be there. I want to be there. What I want to say to everyone here is that no matter where you are on your journey, you can always take a step forward. You can always find more people who will support you. You can always build a stronger sense of community. You can always go on a deeper level of spirituality. You can always incorporate more things into your life that are going to bring you joy, that are going to take you to a closer and higher level of self-acceptance and self-love and self-pride. And the most important thing is that you get to live an authentic life as you are. So no matter where you are, I want to encourage you to keep going, because it always gets better. It does. No matter where you are, it can always get better, and it will. I'm not saying that right now things aren't great and amazing, and that's fantastic. I'm just saying that they can always get better, and you can always improve it in some aspect. And that's why I think it's important for us to have places like Queer Quest, where as queer people we can go, share our feelings, connect with other people, go on these journeys, do these quizzes, these courses, these programs, and actually evolve as queer people and as humans as well. Because the continuous nature of spiritual growth is a beautiful thing, and it's an evolving thing. And as a queer person, like I said, we are holistic, and we need to look at ourselves in that holistic world. Like I said, there are 12 different areas of life that we can look at. And I call it, a queer renaissance. It's the queer wellness wheel of life. And it's one of the first programs that will be available at QueerQuest. And it's something I'm super excited about, because I've been working on it for years and years and years. So that'll be coming out soon as well. But I want to say to everyone, it's like, that's the kind of journey that I am going on as a queer person. And I'd love to support you on that as well. I know we've talked about a lot today, but really the key points that I want to uncover is that you going on a journey, you coming out, like I said, in so many different aspects as a queer person, sexuality, gender, relationships, your career choices, your relationship with yourself, how you integrate with how you live life, right? All of this is your personal journey. And I want you to live life authentically to you. And know that, like I said, there are going to be other people who live life similar to you, and you're going to find that community. And I trust and hope that you find that at QueerQuest as well. So I really want to, share with you, like right now, like if you are someone out there who's listening and you've got a story to share, you want to connect with this QueerQuest community for support and for guidance, or you want to share your story with me, find me on social media. You can find me under Christiano Green on all social media platforms. If you see my face, you hear my voice, you'll know how to find me. I'm pretty sure there's like no one else out there like me, which is great because I'm authentic. No one like me. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I want to help you be like I said, live your life like there's no one else like you, because there isn't anyone else like you. So, like I said, you guys, it's been a pleasure sharing the parts of my journey and this with you. I would love to hear feedback from you. I'd love to hear what's connecting with you, hearing your stories. And again, if you want to sign up to get the first information of when QueerQuest launches, you can do that at www.queerquest.vip. It's going to be launching within the next 30 days, guys. I'm super excited. All right. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Like I said, I'm going to be back again with another episode soon. I'm going to stop rambling now, but always remember, you've got this. I've got you. We've got each other. And I'll be back next week with another episode. Bye for now.
Are you ready to embark on a transformative journey towards love and happiness? Introducing the 21-day Gay Man's Guide to Love and Happiness. This isn't just a course, it's a pathway to discovering your true self, overcoming challenges, and embracing happiness. Join hundreds of gay men who found joy and freedom. Learn from Christiano Green, a coach with 20 years experience and a journey like yours. For a limited time, get this life-changing course at 75% off with a 100% risk-free guarantee. There's nothing to lose, but so much to gain. Your new life is just a click away. Enroll in the 21-day Gay Man's Guide to Love and Happiness today. Visit theglobalpridecollective.com and start your journey towards a happier, more fulfilled you.